And I think we are live. I'm a couple of minutes early, so I'm going to give it a little bit of time to get some people in here. All right. Hey, Louise. I was a couple of minutes early. I was announcing in the groups. Hey, Patty. And there's Joyce. Thank you for your support, everyone. Greatly appreciate you on every platform. And we're going to say happy birthday to all our May birthdays.
Happy birthday!
And this is the calendar. Today we are doing our tutorial Thursday. We're going to be talking about the hat press and pressing on hats and using infusible ink and layering it with some foil iron-on. So hope you guys are ready to play around with a little bit of mixed iron-on tonight. Let's see. Tomorrow night we have a Father's Day card that we're going to talk about the layout and print and cut and patterns. And then we're on a Zoom going to be teaching you guys how that is actually laid out and how you can make changes to it. So, and that will complete the lives for this week through Saturday. Hi, Beverly. Hi, Patty. Hi, Elizabeth. Leslie. Kathy. And don't forget, guys, the May giveaway is going. This is the hashtag Cricut Blooms. We will be drawing this live on YouTube on May 26th. Make sure that you are using a Cricut material in your project or an access flower image. Include hashtag Cricut Blooms on your project post. You must do a standalone post in either the Cricut Crafting with April group or the Cricutmakerprojects group, or you can post it in both, but you could only win once. So, and then make sure that you're going over to craftingwithapril.co and you are entering on that Rafflecopter form. You must do those two things. If you do not enter on Rafflecopter, there's absolutely no chance that your name will be drawn. And if your name is drawn by Rafflecopter, I have to be able to show your project on YouTube and show where you posted it. So make sure you're doing those two things. Hi, Dolores. So tonight, and I have already laid this out, and there is a link in the description down below of the video with these images in the file already laid out. But we're going to be talking about the guide that comes in. This is done from the hat designs. Let's see if I can remember how to get over there. Let's go to home. Everything is changing. And let's see, I went to, actually I did not do that. I was on the canvas is where I was at. And I went to projects. And from projects I went into categories and went down to iron-on. And from iron-on you will find this design, the hat press design setup, and when you take it in over into Designspace, then it looks like this without all of these images. These are not in here. You'll see this hat guide. It's very important, guys, when you go and you're working with your images, that you stay inside of that guide. Okay, you really need to stay inside of there, and if it helps for you to hide your grid so that you can see it, that's fine. But when you're sizing your images, you want them to stay in there. Now, if you don't want to use the guide, that's absolutely fine, but you need to keep your image at 4.25 in width and 2.25 in height. Okay, so that you can make sure that it's going to fit and fit nicely using your hat press and not leave any edges that are not ironed down. I did a couple of hats and I did go bigger, and I found out that it was kind of tedious. I got it on there, but it wasn't as easy as it is if you stay inside those guidelines. So, I mean, if you want to make it bigger, you've got a little bit more room, but you're going to have to work at it. Okay? And this recommended size from Cricut is perfect. Hey, Linda. So what I did is I just went through and looked for some Father's Day images, and I really liked this one with the car. It was 2 layers. And I came in here and I made my back layer blue and my top layer black. Now that's going to represent, when we do our projects tonight, that is going to be, the blue is going to be my Infusible ink. And then I am going to put foil iron-on on top of it. I'm going to be using the black foil iron-on. I believe that was, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was in the Gold Rush mystery box. And this blue Infusible ink is in the mystery box that is available right now. That is the Jungle Fever mystery box. So make sure that you're getting those mystery boxes, guys. It's a great way to build up your stash and work with materials that you have not used before. Okay? So make sure that you're getting those. Plus, there's a cutie in it. This one, I kind of left like it was. You can see that I had ungrouped it. Let me go back. I forgot to group that. This was an image that was grouped, and I just brought it in here and sized it like I wanted it to fit within the constraints of the guide. And it is in 2 pieces. So we are going, this one I'm going to be doing with black foil iron-on and silver foil iron-on. So I am going to be layering 2 colors of iron-on with that one. Alright, this one here was a layered image, and I went in and changed the top piece. No, this was not a layered image. I don't think this was a layered image. I think it was just this one, and it was black. And what I did is I created an offset for that. That's what I did, because it says offset right there. I created the offset and I made it just a teeny bit bigger than what the image was. Then I selected the two pieces and grouped them. I aligned center and I grouped them. And then I brought them over here and I sized them to fit within the constraints because it was really big, okay? It came in really big. This one is an image, and I think I did. It came in, there were two of them, and one was like this and one was like this. And I thought, oh, how cool will that be? I can do this in my Infusible ink and this one in my foil iron-on. And then I got to thinking, I really don't want to have to weed all of that out and then line that back up and make sure that it's perfect. So what I did was I created an offset for this one. I just went in and created the offset. And I made it 0 in size. And then I hit apply. And I've got so much stuff running that sometimes mine doesn't want to do this because this is still in beta. And sometimes it just doesn't want to do it live. I have no problem when I'm not doing a video for this to work. Okay? So I just basically eliminated this and just hit it because I'm going to get the same result. There it goes. Finally came up, but that's okay. I'm going to get the same result putting my iron-on over the top of it here as I would if I used this. It's going to look the same, but it's going to be a lot less work. And I don't have to worry about anything shifting. So consider that when you're making your iron-ons. Even though this has a bunch of holes in it, instead of just contouring it, which you could do if it didn't have this, that particular one did, you could go in and contour out the outside lines and get that inside. But there's no need to do that when you can create an offset at 0 for the exact same size and then just iron over the top. It's going to save you in the long run. Did that make sense to everybody? And I'm just going to resave this. I just kept that piece in there to show you guys. Show more. I don't know who that is on Facebook. We are going to show more. We're going to show how to use the app and how to iron it on, how to cut it, how to weed it. We're going to show you everything. So whatever images that you choose, again, just make sure that you're looking at them and you're deciding on the correct materials to use, especially if you're going to be layering, and make it easy on yourself. Okay? Make it super easy on yourself. So let's pop overhead. Yay, there we are. I'm going to move my keyboard out of the way. You guys don't need to see that. I have the hat press here. Got this little guy. We got him plugged in. I don't have him turned on. And I've got my hat form. Alright. And I've got 4 hats. I've got some of the gray ones and some of the trucker hats. Okay, and we're going to do a little bit of both. I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to put on what yet, but I have decided on my materials. And this is the Father's Day golfer. I've already weeded this one. Oops, I'm stuck together here. Don't want to. Alright, so I have my Infusible ink. And then I have my foil iron-on. And it looks backwards right now because we cut them in different ways. Okay? So you got to be sure which way this is going on your hat. Because my Father's Day is going to go this way. So I need to make sure that that golf club is going to be going the same way. Alright? So when you're getting ready to do all of this, you'll want to check all of your images. Now, I haven't weeded that yet for that. Okay. This one is just my 2 colors of iron-on that we're going to be placing on and layering. And then this one, this is my other infusible ink. Let me separate those. Again, you can see that the ink is going to go this way and then the car is going to go this way. So we know that they are right. So if you're looking at them like this, you can see that they are going in the same direction. You do have to mirror your infusible ink, just like you do your iron-on. And a good thing to remember is your liner is always going to go to the mat. Okay, if you've never worked with these materials before, your liners are always going to go to the mat. Just like your adhesive vinyls, your pattern, the liner always goes to the mat. We don't want to cut the liner, we want to cut the material. You will mirror both of them. So for you guys who don't know or have never weeded iron-on, this is my black foil iron-on. And I'm just going to start weeding it from this corner and just get it started with my weeding tool. And then I'm just going to start wiggling that off of there. Just going right around the outside. So now I have the outside of it weeded. Now I have to weed the inside, because our infusible ink is going to be showing through. So if it helps you to look at your image on screen, let me just pop over there. Sometimes it helps people when they haven't done this before to look at it like this so that you can see anything on this piece that is white, I am going to remove, okay? So if it's showing white here or blue here, however you've got it laid out, that is, the blue is what I'm removing from this piece. Okay? So we're going to come back over, and usually with the foils, I can just basically just fold back my liner a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then I can just pull that out of there. The foils, to me, just weed so easy. I don't even need my weeding tool most of the time. I'm just going to wiggle it. And I believe this Cricut black foil was in the Gold Rush mystery box. Some of you may not have yours yet, but if you got it, then you'll be getting that. But you can order it from Cricut as well. Cuts easy, weeds easy, love it. So that's weeded. Now with your infusible ink, even on your small images or large images, you'll want to, after it's cut, crack it. And what that means is just roll, and you might hear it crack, but you'll want to roll it and crack and get those edges loose. And same thing, I really don't need a weeder when I do this. Most of the time I just start peeling that outer edge and peel it right around, because this is going to be a solid image anyway. I made it easy for myself. I made the ink the solid image. Okay? So now that we have all the projects weeded and we've gone through weeding, if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Okay? We're going to come over here to our Cricut Heat app. And I redid this so that I could show you guys. The first time you use your press, you have to set it up. So we're going to turn it on. We've got our app open, and I'm going to set up a new heat press. And it shows that hat press. It's going to read it, and then you're going to hit connect. And then it's going to go through the Bluetooth and connect your press to the app via Bluetooth. And it may take a minute. And let's see, there it is. Now we're going to activate it. I have to agree and activate. It is now heating up. I'm ready to go. Very, very, very easy. Okay? And you only have to do that the first time. It's not a big deal. After that, you'll just come in here and select the heat press. So if you have the Easy Press 3, you'll do that same thing. And then when you come in, you'll just select which one you want. Okay? So I'm going to start a new project. And after I hit start a new project, it wants me to select my transfer material. So I'm going to hit select, and I am doing Infusible ink transfer sheets. So I'm going to select that, and you may not be able to read that on my phone, but it's the same steps that I'm telling you. And then the iron on, am I putting it on cotton or polyester or a Cricut blank? And let's see, I'm going to go with this first one. I'm going to do it on the trucker hat instead of the ball cap. The trucker hat is the black and white, for those of you who don't know, and the ball cap is the gray one. So if you're ordering those, you'll know the difference. So I'm going to select the trucker hat, and then it tells me. And then if you need a tutorial, which we're doing right now, you can hit this button and go, and it will show you a tutorial. But I'm just going to skip that. And now it tells me to preheat my blank for 5 seconds. Then I'm going to press for 90 seconds, and then I'm going to let it cool. And then there's also detailed instructions here. It will bring this up, and it has another video for you. But it's going to tell you what you need. You need your hat press, you need butcher paper, you need your design, which will be face down. And then you're going to need your Cricut hat form, and you're going to need your strong grip tape. And that is the purple tape. It is not the blue heat resistant tape. You need the purple. Okay? And then a lint roller. So let's go ahead and start with the obvious and take our lint roller, and we're going to lint roll over this cap, because if there are any threads, any dust, any puppy hairs, any human hairs, anything on the front of that, once that infusible ink goes down, once that hair or that lint or dust removes, you will see where it didn't get any ink. Okay? You'll want to open up the hat, and then you'll want to take out this cardboard liner. You want to make sure that you pull this bib down, okay? And then you're going to put your hat form in. So we're just going to bring that in just like that. So everything is opened up. We've got that sweatband opened up there. And then we've got a nice little snug fit. And I'm just going to snap the straps so it doesn't move around. Right back on there. Okay? And then I'm just going to press this down so that it fits well. And I'm just going to lint roll one more time. Okay? So that's what it looks like. You're ready to go. Okay? Puppy hair is the story of your life. I know my black dog Orchid is shedding right now so badly. It's something else. So I'm going to bring up my app, and I'm going to, right here, it's going to tell me to send the settings to my hat press. I just wanted to make sure that I got everything down. So once I send this over, it's going to start heating up to the temperature that it needs to be. So and it tells me preheat my blank for 5 seconds, applying light pressure. Okay? So once it heats up, we're going to do that. And while it's doing that, I'm going to cut a piece of butcher paper here, because I don't need this great big sheet for a hat. So I have a piece, I'm just going to tear that. So I have a piece, then that should be fine. Now when you're placing your image, and I'm not going to do this yet because I have to heat it up. So now I want to do my 5 seconds. So I'm going to press that and press start, and it shows on the app that I'm pressing. And I just want to move it back and forth. So now I have my preheat done. Now it wants me to apply light pressure and apply my image. So the next thing I want to do, and I don't like to put my ink on there while it's really too hot. I want to let it cool. You're basically taking out the moisture. You used removable vinyl for the first time a few days ago and weeded it. You tuck all the inside the transfer. Oh, I see. Yes, I do trim my images, and that's what I'm just getting to that right now. Thank you, Marianne, for that reminder. When you apply your image, you want to be about a 1/2 inch, which I'm going to say is a finger width, from there. And you can see that that tape is going to interfere. And if it gets on that bill, it's going to be hard to tape down, and then it's going to create a wrinkle in the transfer, and we don't want that. So I'm going to trim it, and I'm not going to get too close because it's ink, but I am going to trim part of that off, okay? Just a little bit, just so I can get down in there and tape it down without it being a hassle and trying to get all over the place. Because we know our infusible ink turns to a gas, and you can see that that lays much flatter now that I trimmed it off at the bottom, so that it doesn't wrinkle. You don't want your design to wrinkle. Now, right here on the trucker hat, there is no seam. So you see, you've kind of got an imaginary line from this point. And I'm just going to pinch my liner. I'm just pinching the liner of my infusible ink to give me a center point. And all I did was bring my edges of my image together and pinch the center of that liner. So now I've got a reference point, which is basically this line right here is where it came out. I just got lucky. So I'm going to lay that down. Now we know that's not going to stay. You can see that it's not going to. And that's where our strong grip tape comes in. So I'm going to hold that down, and I'm going to put my first one at the top. I just start at the top. It's totally up to you if you want to place yours at the bottom or the side, wherever you want to put it. And then I'm going to place one down here. You don't want it lifting up or getting all wrinkly. You want it to be adhered to the hat as well as you can get it to adhere. And if it's still wrinkling up, depending on your design, and you can't get it to lay down and get a flat fit, then you can clip. Just like you would clip in sewing, you can clip to give yourself some flexibility on that transfer, okay? This one's pretty straightforward and it's laying flat, so I'm not finding a need to do that. And you can reuse this tape too, so I'm just going to make sure it's taped down really well because this is infusible ink. We can reuse our tapes. And this one got a little bit of a lift right there. You just don't want it to lift. You want it to be sitting flat onto the surface. And that looks good. So now I have that. I am going to put my butcher paper on there because I want to protect the platen of my press. If you get infusible ink on the platen of your presses, it is going to ghost and come up on every single project. It doesn't go away. Yes, Marianne, if you think, that's exactly right. If you think you've got enough tape on there, add some more tape. Make sure you add some more tape. I think I've got that on there straight. I may be a little bit off, so I'm going to pull it up. And I just don't want, I was looking at it, just a teeny, it may be an optical illusion, but I'm going to take that back down. It was just off a hair over here. You just want to make sure that it's really on there good. And again, I am going to use my butcher paper. I don't want to damage the platen of my press. Alright, So now I'm going to bring this in. It says 90 seconds, apply light pressure. And the key to this, guys, is to keep it moving. And you'll see the Cricut logo here. So I'm going to hit go. And then I'm just going to keep it moving. And I know that the edge of my design is right about here. I've got my hand in the way, right about here. And then I've got it over here. And if you can see, I'm bringing that Cricut logo over to the edge of the design as I move it back and forth. Okay, so you're going to go back and forth for 90 seconds. And again, keep pulling that hat press over. It's really hard to do this way so you guys can see. Keep it in line and keep going back and forth and bring that Cricut logo over to the edge of your design, and that will ensure you're getting good coverage. Okay? Just getting that back on there. My paper where I cut it's trying to curl, and that's okay. And I don't tape my butcher paper down. I've seen some say they do. I think that's a matter of preference. My phone is wanting to time out. I forgot to change the timeout on it. All right. So now it says it's pressed, okay? And we're going to remove the butcher paper, remove the tape and the design while it's warm. Unplug your heat press and allow it to cool down completely before you store it. The care. Guys, the app gives you the care on your items when you're using the Cricut Heat app for your Easy Press 3 and your hat press. Hand wash only, don't bleach, line dry, dry clean. And that's going to change depending on what your substrate is, whatever it is that you put it on, whatever you're using, if you're using a hat, a t-shirt. So, awesome, awesome app. So I'm just going to hit done. And let's cool down a little bit. I'm going to leave my hat press in there, and I'm just going to go ahead and start peeling this. And I missed a corner, so I'm going to go back and I'm just going to hit it again. I figured I was missing something. Oops. I'm just going to hit this corner up here again for 90 seconds. I'm going to guesstimate it. You trim your butcher paper and tape it down too. I don't tape my paper, but I guess it wouldn't hurt anything. I'm just going to get this corner again, guys, where I missed it. It's hard to do when you're watching chat and watching the phone app and trying to type. You made the mistake of not trimming the first time and go back and fix. You're not by yourself, Louise. The first time I used this little guy, I had some boo-boos too. You don't have the press and you love the app. Yeah. The app is awesome. I mean, it is awesome. Hopefully that fixed that corner. Gonna give it a minute. It looks like it did. Gonna let it cool for a second. Patience is the key. Patience, patience. And if you're going to repress it like I did, make sure that you line that up really good or it's going to ghost its image. Okay, you're not supposed to press it twice, but sometimes I cheat and I do it anyway. There we go. That's much better. So now we have our denim image on there. And I'm just going to stick this up because I can reuse some of that tape. So now we have that image on there. I do want to let that cool. I'm going to do one that doesn't have any infusible ink because it applies differently when you're layering if you're not using two different mediums like I am here. So I'm just going to line this up right over the top of it. Okay? Right over the top. I just love this. That denim was the only thing that I could find that was going to look close to water and look manly at the same time. So I want to put that there, and again, I am going to reuse some of this tape just to tack this down, because I don't want it to shift. I want to make sure I get it in the right spot. Doesn't it look cool, Sue? I thought that, I hope that turns out and looks like water. Worst case scenario, it still looks like denim, but I thought, how stinking cute is that going to be? I had some of the bright blue, but I was using it on a different project, and I wanted to show some pattern instead of just solids. I tore my tape, but that's okay. Just want to keep this from shifting and keep it flat. I forgot to trim that, so I'm just gonna come in here and trim off that corner where it's not laying flat of this transfer sheet, just so I can get it to go flat. Nice and flat and even. Now, I am using a piece of, this is a Teflon sheet that I just put over to protect the hat in the iron-on. Yes, be careful that there's no ink on your tape and things like that. You want to be very careful of that if you're reusing it. Good point, Sue. There we go. So now I'm going to start a new project, and I'm going to select my transfer material, and I am going to go with foil iron-on. And I am going to go to the trucker hat, and I'm going to hit next, and I'm just going to skip the tutorial because I already know. So it wants me to preheat 5 seconds, which that is just to remove the moisture, and I've already done that step, so I don't need to do that. I'm going to send my settings to my hat press over here, and where it says preheat the blank, I'm just going to say skip. And now 60 seconds, light pressure, and you're going to move this back and forth. Okay? You've never used the Infusible ink. Who is that on Facebook who hasn't used the Infusible ink? All I see is Facebook viewer. I don't know your name. We can help you. You don't have the press, but you love watching. Guys, enter the giveaway. If you haven't purchased the press, you can get one. Winning those giveaways. I did shopping sprees again this month because that's what everybody was wanting. But if you guys want, in June, we can do a hat press giveaway. You guys let me know. We do these for you. Just double checking while we're heating up here. We're at 383. It says 6-7 minutes left, but it's not going to take that long. It's actually trying to cool down, I think, from doing the Infusible ink. Hey, Ellen. The ink is fun. It's a lot of fun. It doesn't come off. Once it's on there, it's permanent. You don't have to worry about it. It's awesome. It does take practice to learn to work with it. It takes practice, guys, just like using any new medium. If you've never worked with a product and it comes out on the market, you have to learn to work with it. So you're going to have some fails and you're going to have some successes until you learn that product. When I first started using Infusible ink, I was not in love. Now I love it, but I have learned to work with it. Yes, my moderators and admins are not paid. They are volunteers, guys, so they are allowed to enter the giveaways. Is this where the sublimation printer comes in? It can, Ellen, it can. Infusible ink is a form of sublimation. It's already pre-printed. They're pre-printed sheets, and they're pre-printed with designs on us. I'm using the green out of this for the golf one. But it comes with pre-printed designs and solid sheets. The difference with a sublimation printer, this is the denim that out of the pack, the Western Sweetheart that I used on this. But it comes in all the pre-printed sheets. With the sublimation printer, you can print, you can design in Designspace, and then you can send it just like a print and cut. We don't usually cut them, but you can send it over as a print and cut, and then just trim the black bounding box off of it and apply it to your project. So yes, you can design in Designspace, do your print and cut, and with a sublimation printer instead of a regular printer, and then you can iron it on because it's the same as doing Infusible ink. Did that make sense? I am trying to set my settings so this will quit timing out here, if it will allow me. Okay. So yeah, it takes a little bit to learn those things, but it is like I said, your Infusible ink is a form of sublimation. They're just already pre-printed on the paper for us. The Infusible ink acts the same as a vinyl. No. Infusible ink is permanent ink. What happens is when I pressed this denim piece, when I press that, I lost my piece here. When I press that, it's kind of dull and it brightens up when you press it. Because as it heats up, what happens is that ink turns into a gas and permanently dyes the substrate. And a vinyl that you iron on is not infused into the fabric. Okay? This is actually infused into the fabric and it's never coming out. Okay? Now, if you put it on cotton, it's going to come out. When you use Infusible ink, it has to be a minimum of 65% polyester. Okay? The way that we get around using Infusible ink on cotton t-shirts is putting it on top of glitter iron-on. The white glitter iron-on from Cricut, you can iron Infusible ink over the top of that and it will give your Infusible ink a glittery look. This heats up a lot faster than it cools down, right? While I've got it cooled down, the next one we will do just our 2 layers of... I could go ahead and probably be prepping that while you guys ask your questions. I'm going to go ahead and trim up my liners on this one. Thank you, Marianne. want to burn myself either. But I'm going to hold it here so it will cool down faster. I think you're right, it's dropping quick now. Yeah, it dropped several degrees really quick after I took it out of the base. You're right, because that's holding and absorbing the heat to keep it warm so that you can do lots of projects. But we're going back and switching from one temp to another tonight. Usually you would do your infusible ink and be done. So on the next one, I will do both infusible inks, and then we'll go back and let it cool and do the one. That's probably going to be cool enough. I'm just checking chat to see if I missed anything. So who's ready to try layering your iron-on? Okay. While that's, I'm going to lay it on its side right there. While that's cooling, give you guys a sneak peek. There it goes. I know if I tried to do something else, it would be ready. Okay, so now it's ready. So we're going to do low, which is 60 seconds. It's on low. It's already set. And we're going to apply light pressure. So we're just going to place that there. I'm going to hit my go button. And we're going to move back and forth. I could probably do away with that. I don't really need that, I don't think. I'm gonna go with it without the Teflon sheet. If you're worried about melting anything, go ahead and use one. I like to be able to see my design. So I'm just going back and forth with the Cricut logo, making sure that it goes back and forth over the entire project. All right. And now we have to let this cool. Now it's going to cool faster if I remove it from this form. I'm just going to pull that out, and we're going to set that to the side and work on our next one. And then we'll come back and peel that. So so you saw me. I may not do all of these on camera, guys, unless you want me to. But I will show you photos later once I do them. So I'm going to put this one on a ball cap. And I'm just going to click done there. Same thing with the ball cap. You'll want to open this up. And it has a Velcro strap. Okay. And then you have this cardboard liner. You want to remove that. And you'll want to pull that sweatband back. You're just going to place the Cricut hat form in there. That sweatband out of the way. And then I'm just going to bring that in snug. Make sure that I've got a good flat surface here. Okay, your hat form is moldable, so you can punch it around, punch it down, and make sure that you've got a good flat fit. Okay? Same thing with my previous design. I like to fold my design edge to edge and just kind of give myself a pinch on that carrier sheet. And I have a seam that goes all the way down on this one. So I'm going to line this up because this is a two-part. I'm going to line that up right on that seam, if I can see it. We're going to take our lint roller, get my butcher paper out of there. We're going to lint roll that, make sure that it's nice and dust and lint free. Myself a good enough pinch on there. There we go. And I've got a little corner, sharp corner here. I'm just going to round that out so that it sits flat. Optical illusion again, I think. Or is it? Aha. I have this piece to put in there. So I have to take that into consideration. I'm going to move this up. Get it up off there just a little bit more than that. Half inch. All right, and we're going to tape that down. Printable vinyl and removable. I love to layer my iron-on, doing two colors. And you see how I got a wrinkle there? I want to make sure I bring that down and keep it smooth. Nice and smooth and flat contact. And that looks good. Now I don't need any butcher paper because this is just foil iron-on. So I'm going to start a new project. I'm going to select my transfer material to foil iron-on. And then I am going to select the ball cap on the Cricut planks and hit next. And then I'm going to send that to the settings. And I forgot to do what? Forgot to preheat. You don't want any moisture in there. So we're going to preheat. And I'm going to hit my button. And then we'll put it back on there. That is a very important step, guys. A lot of people say my iron-on didn't stick. It didn't stay. It came off. Preheating is one of the main causes that when you launder it, that it comes off. One of the main things. Because you didn't preheat and take the moisture out. So it steamed it. And if it steams it, of course we know that our iron does not like steam. So now I have preheated. I put it back on there. And now we're going to press it. Press our button. And we're going to do our 60 seconds. No, we are not. I'm going to do this for about 10 to 15 seconds. And the reason I'm doing only 10 to 15 seconds is because I'm layering iron-on with iron-on. Okay? And so I'm going to let that cool. I just want it on there enough to tack it. because I don't want to overheat my iron-on and then it shrink and show my glue lines from the adhesive and all of that. You don't want to do that. So when you're using the like iron-ons, which are the same kind of iron-ons, you'll want to do layer 1 and then let it cool down, of course. I'm going to let that cool for a second. Going to bring this one over and we're going to peel it. And it's not, I didn't get it on one corner. I might have to heat this one again. Maybe not. I got one little corner that didn't heat up. So I'm just going to take my hat press, and this is me, guys, it's not the press. I just missed my corners. I'm going to heat that up again. That's why I say you need to take that Cricut logo all the way across and make sure that you're getting that heated up. Get that entire image. I'll give that a second to cool. This one is cool. Hopefully it's going to let me tack it to the hats. I have not tried tacking to the hats yet. It looks like it's going to allow it. You just want to be very gentle and very easy pulling this up, because you're going to see some of your letters lift a little bit. That's okay, because we haven't finished heating it. You just don't want to tear any of your lettering. Just go really slow. And that's not stuck. That top corner's not stuck, but that's okay. I'm going to peel this back because I need to get this piece in here. So I really only need to do that for that part. So I'm just going to lay that back in. We're basically piecing this together. There we go. So now I've got that laid in over where it's supposed to be. And I'm just going to let this come back over. And now we're going to heat it for the entire time. So if your inlay piece is in here, you're going to have to work it and reheat everywhere that it's not sticking on your temporary heat. I'm just going to make sure that I get this stuck down. Okay, so I've got it up under there. Everything else is stuck to the hat. And now we're going to, I'm just going to hit done and go back, and we're going to, right here, foil iron-on ball cap. I'm just going to click it because it's going to remember it. Sending that over to the press. I'm going to skip the preheat. I've already done that. And we're going to do our 60 seconds. So now you're going to heat it for the full amount of time. You have to get that first layer stuck down enough to get your second layer in there. And then cover the whole thing and do it for the full amount of time. That way you're not overheating layer 1. Does that make sense to you guys? Because if you overheat layer 1, then you could have a problem with it shrinking. And then the layer 2 won't fit in there right. My cord is getting stuck. Alright, so we're going to let that cool, and I'm going to come back to this one and see if I got those corners this time. And I did! Yay! Just going to peel slowly. And I still have one place that's not stuck. But I have a fix for that. not stuck right there. I'm going to cover this with my Teflon sheet, and I'm going to heat that. I need a second hat form. Now we're on there. Yay. I'm going to double check this corner just to be sure. Perfect. We're on there. It's on. Love it. You couldn't do what I do. Hey, we all have days where things just don't go right. How cute is this going to be together? This is tomorrow's freebie file, guys. We're going to be doing this card. Waiting on this to cool. It probably is, because if you don't get flat contact, it can cause that, Sue. You have to get that flat contact. So we're going to test this one, and I'm just going to peel slowly. If it's not sticking, then we'll go and heat it for a few more seconds. And it looks like it is perfectly fine. There's the top layer that we worked with first, and then here's the other piece that we had layered in. And it's perfect. So that's how you layer your iron-on. I just love foil. Foil is my go-to. I love the foil. So you guys can get a good look how that layered in. I guess you can see it. Pretty. So you guys want me to do one more? Or are you good? Do you think that's gonna get you going on these with layering, or you want to see another one? Do you want to see? Now I didn't do infusible ink on a ball cap. If you guys want to see that, that one would be different. I think I'll do the car on this one. Let me see. I'm just pulling back. And I think that's why I like the foils, is because they are so nice and shiny. Yes, do another one. Okay. We got that done. I'm going to lint roll it. I'm going to try to do this one backwards. Maybe you guys can see a little bit better. We're going to come in here and we're going to do start a new project, select, I'm going to do the infusible ink sheet. We're going to do the ball cap this time instead of the trucker cap, and hit next and preheat. So we're going to preheat that, send it to the settings. It's got to heat up for us to do that, so I can be, I'm just going to go ahead and preheat, guys. It should be enough while this heats up, and then I'll just skip. Of course I'm up for it. I love doing iron-on. We'll do the car on this one. And I'm just trimming all these corners. The corners at the top don't bother me as bad as the corners at the base. When you get close to that bib, it makes it difficult. Now I just got to remember, don't put it on upside down. Give myself that right there, that line is my center line. Yep. That is my center line right there. I'm just going to stick that guy down. We're going to start taping. I usually reuse my tapes, but I'm not going to make you guys sit here and watch me peel all of those tapes apart. New roll. Stand up. There you go. I've done quite a few projects when I was learning with the hat press, so this tape lasts a pretty long time. I just can't get it out of the container. There we go. Well, my little, it's kind of tricky because it doesn't actually fit. There we go. That's laying nice and flat. That's a good design for the hats, guys. The car is laying super flat, super easy. So I'm going to do Mary Ann's little trick. We're going to tape down the butcher paper. I'm just going to tape it on each side. How's that? So now we are ready to go. I'm going to skip the preheat and we're going to go to applying. And here we go. I'm right-handed, so I have to go this way. Yeah, I am loving this. Who hasn't used the black foil yet? Oops, this piece came off. I'm just going to hold my butcher paper over here. I think it's okay. That was the start of a roll, so I didn't think it would stay. I tried it. Nine, 8, 7. We need a countdown. Okay. And I think that one's going to be good. Do I dare? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to take this off the form and we're going to bring it back here in just a minute. So I'm going to pull this off. Oh, I missed a little bit on the wheel. Uh-oh. It's all right. I'll live with it. I knew I should have checked it. Do as I say, not as I do. Always check it. I'm going to put this one in and I'm going to do I'm going to do the infusible ink on this other one. If I haven't lost it. There it is. Before we do our cool down to do that card. Since you guys are up for it, I'm up for it. Why not? Got our sweatband out. Gonna reform a little bit. Give that a little snap. Let roll. And then I am going to do last used. I erased it. Let's new project, transfer material, ink sheet, trucker hat. Next. And we need to send the settings and preheat for 5 seconds. And then we're going to bring this guy in. I have to make sure that I put this on right. Okay. So, I'm just making sure that my offset is, I don't want to put it on upside down. Trim. Off those corners. Give myself that pinch. 1/2 inch from the bottom. And then we're going to tape this guy down. No wrinkles. And I'm checking, this is the same butcher paper I used on the car. I don't have any ink on it, so I can reuse that. If you have ink on it, you don't want to do that. It will transfer. Alright, and now we're going to press this one on. Yes, please, thumbs up, like. If you're on Facebook, send some hearts and some thumbs up, some likes. Don't forget, if you're watching this after the live, please leave a comment down below in the comments. I will respond. I promise you, I respond. I either give a thumbs up and a heart, or I say, thank you, you're welcome. I answer questions on YouTube too. If you have a tutorial that you want to see, make sure you tell us. We want to give you what you need. And this one I'm using the green out of that Safari mystery box you guys ordered today. This is from the Jungle Safari patterns. The car was from the True Blue pack. Also in the Safari pack. Now I am going to click done, and then I am going to do my foil iron-on on the ball cap. I'm going to send that over and let this be cooling. I'm going to sit it, probably not wise to sit it that way, but I'm going to. I don't recommend that you do that. I'm just doing it for time purposes for you guys. And now we're going to check it. Make sure that it transferred, and it did. Yay! All right, so now we have to prep. That one's cool. Let this one cool off. We're going to bring this guy back. I'm just going to reform this a little bit. Try it upside down. Give it some shape. Nice and flat. And you can see I have a large area there, so I've got to trim that back. All right. Get it lined up, and I'm going to tape it down. Don't want it to shift. It says 3 minutes, but it's going fast since Marianne gave us the tip of cool down to take it off the base to cool down. Thank you, Marianne. I would have been here all night. Hats off to me. That's cute. And Linda, you can do this. You can do all these projects. It's easy. Just takes practice, and you have to work with it. Two minutes left. I brought myself a dish towel in here to wipe this down with, and I've lost it. I love this hat. My husband's gonna like this one. He's a dog dad. I'm knocking off my rolls of vinyl here. Foil, silver foil, black foil. While that's cooling down, if you guys want to keep your black foil separate from your regular black iron-on, stick the wrapper in the tube, because it looks like regular black iron-on, but it comes out nice and shiny and glossy. So you have to make sure that you keep those separated, because if you lose that, then you'll be using the wrong application on your iron-ons. Yay, Linda. Good, good, good. No limits. Yes, that was a great tip, Marianne. I didn't think about taking it off the base to cool it, because that thing really does hold the heat, but it's supposed to. It's so that it's cool to the touch and you don't burn yourself. So it does its job too. You keep it around your tube. I just take and stuff it down in the tube itself. That way I know I won't lose it. Alright. It's down there. It says 28 seconds left. I think that we're good. I'm just going to skip. And we're going to go ahead and do our 60 seconds. On our foil iron-on. And I want to make sure that I'm getting the entire image. You have separate bins. Mine's like in two different crates. I have one for my vinyl and one for my iron-on. And then I just stuff everything down in the tube. If I don't know if it's iffy. I mean, like I can look at red foil and know it's red foil and my glitters and stuff. But on that black foil, it looks almost just like the regular black iron-on. So we're going to let that one cool. And we're going to bring in our trucker hat. I'm going to say done. And we're going to go to new project. It only holds 3 projects of your last projects. I'm going to do foil iron-on. And we're going to do the trucker hat. I think the temps are the same, but just to be sure. And send it over. And I'm going to skip the preheat because I've already preheated it when we did the first part to get the moisture out. Make sure that band, sweatband is up out of the way. And this is just slightly larger than my iron-on. I'm going to trim that out of the way. If you want a larger area of ink around it, you can most certainly increase it. I just wanted a small one. Stay flat. All right, and now we're going to start it on this one. So does anybody have any questions about layering your iron-ons? So we've done 2 different ways. We did iron-on with foil iron-on with foil iron-on, and we've done foil iron-on with infusible ink. And if you're not using infusible inks, then your foil is the same. Okay? If you're using regular iron-on or glitter iron-on, it's going to layer the same as we did this if you're not using an ink too. You're just going to do a tack layer and then do your second layer when you do those. You do your full amount of time with your infusible ink and foil. So we're going to let that cool off, and it's going to cool off without the hat form in it a lot faster. And we're going to hopefully peel this one back and Maybe we did it right. Pretty. Love it. My husband's going to like this one too. So what do you guys think? Those of you who have not tried Infusible ink, are you going to try and do some layering with it? Or even try it? Just try it? And those of you who have used it, are you going to punch it up with some layering? Make sure that when you peel foil, guys, that it is completely cool. Not warm, not lukewarm, but cool. It needs to be cool. If it's not cool, it's going to stretch and it's going to look wonky. You want the car is the one you really wanted to see finished? I love that black foil. And just carefully start peeling it back, and if it's not stuck, you can always reheat. But if you follow the temp and times on your foils, you will get excellent mirror results. How cool is that? I love both of these. I love them all. Really. This is the only one I didn't do Infusible ink on, but I wanted to show you guys you could still use the blanks without Infusible ink if you're scared of it. It will wrinkle on you. It will stretch. So if you don't let foils cool completely, they will stretch. They have to be completely cool. And if you let them completely cool, let's see if I can get this in there, you will get that mirror finish. Okay? You have to let them completely cool down. Now you'll see, like in there, you might be able to see the seam through that a little bit. But that's just the nature of the beast when you're using foil. If you overheat it too much, it will take on the texture of whatever you're putting it on. You have to follow its instructions to the T, or it can do wonky things. The fishing one is your favorite, this one, Sue? I know it. I love all of them. We have golf, we have fishing, and we have cars. And you guys will, I'm trying to turn my machine off. There we go. You guys will find links for products down below. Please shop my Cricut links. The group code, if you're using the group code, that is specifically for you. It doesn't do anything. But if you use my links, that's where I get the credit. And I greatly appreciate your support. So grab that mystery box. That mystery box has these inks in it, and these are the ones I used. I used this one on the car, and I used the solid green out of this one on the golf. And then I used this one. I used the denim out of this one, the Sweetheart, or Western Sweetheart on the fishing cap. And black foil and silver foil. This one's the True Blue. This one, the True Blue and the Jungle Safari are in that mystery box that came out today. And it has the Emerald Cutie in it. Alright, if you guys have questions that you forgot to ask or you think of something later, don't hesitate. I will see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That's noon Central, 11 Mountain, and 10 Pacific, I think. And we will talk about print and cut patterns and layering up designs. And we're doing some Father's Day cards. So we got some shine going on those too. Alright guys, I will catch you tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Have fun, and don't forget to enter the giveaways. Thank you all for joining me. I greatly appreciate it.